on your side of the country right now, wherever you're from. But here in North Carolina, it's a heat wave right now. I've got the AC pumping, but it's still one of those nights where you just can't even get comfortable because it's so humid and it's so hot right now. It's still like 105 degrees here at 8 o'clock at night with the humidity. It's crazy right now. Anyway, enough about the heat wave. Fanning myself with a clapper instruction manual. Of course, if you've followed the channel, you've been seeing me use the clapper to hook all of this up behind me. So everybody, welcome in to the live stream tonight. Welcome in Star, welcome in Sherry, welcome in October, welcome in Spectre. Everybody, hope your Friday night is going well. Lots to talk about again this Friday night. Kirsten Marie, welcome into the live stream. Will, welcome into the live stream. Lots to go over this week and lots to talk about potentially for what's coming in next week. Definitely happy Friday, Kirsten Marie. But I don't know what it is in Southern California right now, but in Eastern North Carolina, it's hot. It's hot. It's like one of those things right now where I just want to do like the wrestlers and just like rip the shirt off and be like, "Rah!" It's like, because even clothes aren't comfortable right now. That's how humid it is. It's just, today's one of those days where I've had to change shirts like 3 times when I'm working outside. It's hot everywhere, I guess. I guess it's definitely hot everywhere. Spooky Goddess, welcome into the chat. Also, Mary Beth, welcome into the chat. All right, so as you all saw today, looks like McDonald's gave us a code orange, and I believe this is the first time ever in the month of June if McDonald's has ever given us Boo Bucket leaks. It's always been in like August, late August. I don't even think they've ever given us drops for what the Boo Buckets are going to look like in the month of July. So to get this little bit of information in the month of June is definitely unheard of. Jennifer, welcome into the chat. Also, Dale, welcome into the chat. Hope everyone's doing okay tonight. Barb, welcome in also. Yeah, I've got a window unit, Barb, right now. It's like blowing right on me. So if the sound is a little, I guess, off right now, it's because the AC unit. Yeah, that right there, the sticker right there sums it up. The turtle just guzzling the water. I probably have had enough water consumption today to fill up a small lake. That's how thirsty I've been today working outside. It's been brutal, guys. It has been absolutely brutal. Thankfully, the rain's coming in tomorrow, and cooler weather is supposed to be coming. Welcome into the chat, Amy. Kelly, welcome in also. But back to it, a little bit of bright side to the heat wave is the code orange drops that have been coming out this week. McDonald's, the 5 Boo Buckets. Personally, I gotta say, I don't think I'm really a huge fan of any of the designs this year. I was really hoping we were going to get a more traditional look with the lids back on top, but it looks like they're kind of just giving us the same old from the past 2 or 3 years, just different faces, of course. Nothing that I'm really super excited for. Someone mentioned in the comments that some of them do seem to have like a glow-in-the-dark vibe to them, most notably the pumpkin with the face with the green outlines around it. So good eye on that. It looks like that's possibly going to be a glow-in-the-dark Boo Bucket, which makes sense if you're taking it out trick-or-treating. It'll light up at night and you'll be more visible when you're walking. If anybody still does trick-or-treating, but a lot of people don't do trick-or-treating. It's all trunk-or-treating now. Derek, welcome into the chat. Michael says, yeah, me neither, dude. I wanted the ones from the 90s. It's a bummer. I mean, I was hoping for it, but I kind of figured it wasn't going to happen. I was hoping for the Halloween McNugget buddies also, but I also kind of figured that wasn't going to happen. So it is what it is. At least it's something for Code Orange, right? It's a drop. Speaking of drops, we kicked off the week on Sunday, I believe. Blue Bonnet, welcome into the chat. If I've missed anybody, I apologize. You know how it goes. Once we get in here, we just start rolling and rehashing everything that happened last week. I think we kicked off the week on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, with a video from At Home, because they had started dropping their Halloween merchandise. Now, At Home, of course, the 22nd when the big drop is coming, but last Sunday it was nice to see some of the stuff already starting to hit store shelves, and I'll show you the blow mold in just a few minutes that I picked up from there. But that's going to be featured more in-depthly in a video next week, because I've got all kinds of vintage, retro-inspired pickups that I'm going to be showing in an upcoming video on the channel. We're talking about stuff from eBay, all kinds of stuff. It's a lot of the 90s styled tabletop animatronics that I've picked up off of eBay. And that's another thing I want to touch base on. The way you pronounce this is always hit or miss. Some people say you pronounce it Jimmy. Some people say you pronounce it Gimme. Some people say you pronounce it other ways. Anyway, they're the little corporation that made the tabletop animatronics, like the witches, the vampires, and all of that stuff. So, I wanted to tell you all, if you're into collected vintage Halloween merchandise, I highly recommend don't sleep on some of these 90s pieces, because those little gimme tabletop animatronics right now with the box, you can find some of them for like $25 to $35 in pretty good condition on eBay. It's only going to be a matter of time in another 5 to 10 years before these start going up in price, like the blow molds from the 70s, the 80s. So if you're into vintage Halloween, I say now is the time to act. Don't sleep on it. Buy some of these 90s pieces, because they're only going to get more expensive. And I'm going to be showing these off. Makeup Junkie says, I usually hear Jim E. See, there's like 3 different ways I've heard to pronounce it, Barb. So we'll go with either Jimmy, like Jimmy. Jimmy sounds right. And then I've heard some people say it rhymes with Himmy. So it's either Jimmy or Gimme. Take your pick. Either way, I highly recommend don't sleep on it. Buy some of these right now while they're super affordable on eBay, because much like everything, the prices are just going to keep going up. And of course, last Saturday, I believe it was last Saturday, about a week ago, I think it was, that I picked up the other Halloween blow mold from Cracker Barrel for almost free. I know. Boo, Derek, you suck. You got that for free. Now you've got 2 of them. Derek says, I do the same thing with, yeah, it's one of those tricky words, just like Bystol. Bystol, some people say Bystol, some people say Bystel, some people say Beastol. It's like, what is the actual way to pronounce it? Pronounce it however you want to pronounce it is the way I say it. That's what I say. Dullahan, thanks for joining in tonight. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Dullahan. Right before the live stream, we hit 6,000 members into the Spooky family. We are actually now around 6,040, I believe. So next stop is 7,000 subscribers. Hard to believe we are going this fast. I can't even wrap my mind around how this has grown so quickly. So before you know it, we'll be at 10,000. Go figure. And it definitely shows in the live streams and the premieres, because there was a time where the live stream had like 3 or 4 people in it. Now we're sitting here 7 minutes into this, and we've got 60 people here in the chat. Not everybody's chatting, of course, but we've got 60 people watching, and there was a time when there was like 5 people watching. So it's definitely growing, and that's one way you can gauge legitimate growth on a channel. If you do a live stream and people show up, then guess what? The channel's a real deal. If you do a live stream and you've got thousands of subscribers and nobody shows up, it's a good chance that a lot of your viewers are bots. That's a little thing I've learned on YouTube. So anyway, thank you all for being real loyal viewers and supporting the Spooky Club. It definitely means a lot. Crystal, welcome into the chat tonight also. So I guess next up, we need to talk about Michaels, because Michaels gave us you don't want bots, Sanity. You don't want bots. Hey, Izzy, thanks for joining to the chat also. Look, Sanity, let me tell you something, brother. I've been around on YouTube, the YouTube streets as they call it, for years now, okay? The spooky community, I know 4K Media guy, I saw that 40% off coupon. The spooky community, I've been doing content for about 4 years. A lot of people get bots just because they want to inflate their numbers, but all it'll do is bring your channel down. It's not going to help you. It's going to hurt you in the long run. The best thing to do is just stay consistent, post good content, and just stay at it. Stay at it. And hard work eventually pays off. Cheating your way to something never gets you anywhere. Anything worth having is worth working for. That's the best advice I can give anybody. Frankenstein, welcome into the chat. Dullahan says, I think I'm a bot. I wish I was a bot right now, because if I was a bot, I wouldn't feel this heat wave right now, and I could actually be comfortable instead of sitting here sweating. Like, guys, I I almost just like was ready to just come onto the live screen with like a wet towel draped over my head. That's how bad it is right now. But yeah, thanks for joining in, Frankenstein. Thanks, Apron. I just wanted to throw that out there because a lot of people, they think that, you know, if they do stuff a quick way, it's gonna pay off, and it's not. Like I said, if you do stuff a quick way and you go do a live stream or a premiere, people aren't going to show up if they're bots. You got to work hard at anything in life. That's just the way it goes. Nothing comes easy. At least for me, it never has. But anyway, getting back to it, Michaels has released more hints at all of the stuff that's coming out. It was rough, Will, and we've definitely got the Bound by Magic line. I posted the original image of that today in a community post because my fault, blame me, I'm the bad guy here. I thought the image was a little too fuzzy to put in the video, so I put it in ChatGPT to clean it up, and of course, when I cleaned up the image, it misspelled half the words on the pillows. So if you want to see the actual, real, legit image, it's floating around in today's community post, the unedited, unfiltered version of the Michaels Bound by Magic collection. But on the same end of that, apparently we're getting a vintage Halloween line this year, which to me is going to be super expensive, I'm sure, to my wallet. I just really, really hope it's nothing that I don't already have to some extent when it comes to like blow molds or cutouts or whatever they decide to bring our way with this vintage line. Jennifer says, I did put a wet towel on my neck. Trust me, when I'm working outside, I go through like 3 or 4 wet towels. When it's really hot outside, I can put a wet towel on my neck, and within 15 minutes, it's already dried up. That's how hot it gets. All right, so we've covered Michaels. We've covered McDonald's. What is next? What is next? I know a lot of people are starting to see. Sarah, thank you so much for the sticker there. That star reminded me of the star from Super Mario Brothers. You know, the one where he would hit the chance block and he would become invisible? That's what it reminded me of. That was pretty cool. Five Below is starting to get a little bit of drops in. We saw the little flocked Ghost Buddies this week. I think they were called the Boo Buddies. So they're starting to get little leaks in. We're starting to see more and more TJ Maxx and Marshalls. People spotted the Groundbreaker at Costco this week. I had seen images of it floating around online. I can't go in Costco because I don't have a membership. Crystal says 80 days until September. I can't wait, Crystal. Crystal Marie says, I saw a couple TikToks showing Halloween popping up in the bullseye part of Target. We're going to talk about that in just a minute, Kirsten. Yes, we are. Thank you for reminding me. Sarah says, I'm not feeling well tonight. Sorry. I feel you on that, Sarah. It's a brutal heat wave here. I'm not feeling the best myself. Been out in the heat all day today. But glad you are here tonight, Sarah, and I hope you do feel better. Derek says, I agree. Crystal seems a long ways away. It'll be here before we know it, guys. We just got to get through this, and we'll be there. And Barb says, ready for TJ Maxx. But Kirsten Marie had mentioned the Target bullseye section, the dollar section, if you will, at Target. They are getting Halloween merchandise in. So far, it's like a little bit of like, I guess you could refer to it as Joanna Parker style stuff. There's like a little cat. I think there's like a little ghost. It's not a whole lot of stuff, but at least it's something. And I just don't really understand why the dollar section's getting Halloween before we've even seen the Hide and Eat collection. Like, that's unheard of. Nothing with Halloween this year is making sense. It's like everything is just sporadically dropping here and there and everywhere, and it's hard to keep up at times. Like this morning, I wasn't even expecting to see a McDonald's leak, but there it was. Let's see. Frankenstein says, just saw Clue put out a Universal Monsters edition. That seems pretty cool. And Kelly says, Marshalls and TJ Maxx have been adding a lot online. Yeah, I've been checking them out just about every morning, and they definitely have. Gemini Groomer says, did I see the Frankenstein pillow that matches the Target wall hanging? Yes, I do. I have it behind me. And as a matter of fact, it glows in the dark. You can see it right there. So one they had last year, it was like $5. I've got that. I've got the tissue dancer that they had last year behind me. And I got the vacuum form somewhere. Guys, I've got so much stuff, I don't even know where to put it. Like, this mess back here, one day you're going to turn on the video and the whole wall behind me is going to look way more organized than it currently does, because this right now is just complete and utter chaos. So let me show you one of the latest pieces, like that pillow. Here's the funny story about that pillow, because Gemini says never saw it in store. Neither did I until like the week of Thanksgiving, okay? The week of Thanksgiving, I'm walking through Target and they still have a little bit of Halloween stuff hanging around on the clearance aisle. And I see this pillow and I'm like, I didn't even know this existed this year. So I picked it up, took it to the checkout, and it was like $5. I think it was like a regular $20 pillow, but by Thanksgiving, all of that stuff was obviously clearanced out. So naturally, I grabbed it, and I had no idea it even glowed in the dark until I brought it home, and then it was just like shining in the corner over there, and I'm like, wow, that's actually really cool for $5. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need 2 clappers, though, a hand. Don't let me clap my hands right now, guys, or it's going to turn off. All right, so let me show you all the latest piece. Yeah, Crystal, is definitely a collage. I mean, it looks cool to a point, but sometimes it gets a little much, and it gets overwhelming, and it's just like, I don't even know what's under what, and I can't keep up. So here's the blow mold from At Home this past Sunday. $35 for this. Very, very vintage inspired. You can see that the eyes light up, the glowing orange there, because it's a dual bulb plug-in blow mold, and the cat just knocked me right in the face. What a jerk. All right, so the bottom obviously lights up super bright, super orange. You can't really see it right now because I've got the lights on, but it's a really cool piece for $35. Yeah, I mean, there's never enough Halloween. It's just sometimes I just got to get a little bit more organized. It really is, Kristen. It's a great blow mold. So here's what's going on. Okay, to make this visible in the videos and stand in front of the haunted house where the eyes can kind of peek around, I had to make a makeshift table. Can anybody, you've probably seen it in some of the watermelon carving videos. Can anybody guess what the table is that's holding the cat up right now? Let's see if anybody can guess. Let's see. Maria, thank you for joining into the chat. Yeah, the cat is simply awesome. It's going to peek around into the chat and be a part of it. All right, the table is not a legit table that it's standing on. Again, if you've seen the videos, you know how Kelly, that would be my next step if I didn't use what I was currently using. TV tray, that's very close, Amy. You're in the metal line of things. You're very close. Let's see. Warner, thanks for joining into the chat too. Barb says, I got the Cracker Barrel Witch Frog blow mold. So cute. It really is. It looks way better in person than I thought it would. I saw it online. I didn't think I would like it. So no, this is what the cat sits on, so it's visible in the video. My Dukes of Hazzard my Dukes of Hazzard trash can I've had since I was like 4 years old. That's what it sits on top of now. So you make do with what you've got. Just like if you saw the carving videos, I don't have a fancy rig where I can shoot all of these angles. I have to lay a phone tripod over a cardboard box to film some of my angles. There's nothing fancy here on this channel at all. Like, absolutely nothing. Like, everything's done with an iPhone. Everything's done like crazy simple ways, because that's just the way I operate. You know, I know a lot of people like using GoPros and editing with their laptops, and in hindsight, I probably should, because it would probably be a whole lot easier than trying to do everything on my iPhone, and then when I get a phone call, I get kicked out of my video editor. So maybe one day, but not anytime soon. My saying is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, exactly, Will. Hollywood trickery. Know how to do your camera angles. That's the way you do it. I mean, and even my lighting right now. Like, my lighting right now is like the most ridiculous setup possible. I'll flip it around in just a minute. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, good old Boss Hog, exactly. Laura says, love the blow mold yesterday. I was on eBay and saw a cool old Scooby-Doo lunchbox. I've got so many old metal lunchboxes and plastic lunchboxes. I've got a Kiss lunchbox. I've got a Knight Rider lunchbox. I've got a wrestling lunchbox. I've got, oh man, there's so many. Masters of the Universe. All those old things. If it's old and vintage, I probably collect it. My joke is always, eventually in my old age, I'm going to retire. I'm just going to set up an online store and sell off a lot of the stuff, because by the time I'm 60 years old, I'm probably not going to be using a lot of this stuff anymore. Yeah, Sanity. I do everything on my phone. Like this LiveSCREAM right now is done on my phone. I edit every single video on my phone. Like everything is done on my phone. 100% of it. Thumbnails, all of that stuff exclusively on one iPhone. Nothing professional here at all. Sarah says, I'm stuck on the needing two clappers comment for some reason. Yeah, I'm almost tempted to do it right now and see if it turns off. But my luck, if I turn it off, the clapper will break and it won't come back on, and then I'm going to be sitting here in the dark. So I guess I'll let it be for right now. I've had them turned on all day. So Crystal says, do you have a strawberry shortcake lunchbox? If so, very cool. No, I can honestly say I don't have any strawberry shortcake. I don't own any My Little Pony. I'm not a, what do they call it when the dudes are into My Little Pony? I'm not a brony. I mean, if you're into that, great. I just never got into collecting My Little Pony and strawberry shortcake. I stick to the stuff that I personally grew up on. Two clappers would be frustrating, definitely. I get it, Sarah. You got to laugh at the silliest things. It's what makes life fun and worth living. But I did see something ridiculous yesterday, guys. You know, I follow toys just as much as I follow Halloween, and I follow just about anything 80s and 90s. Hasbro Toys has decided that they're going to do a crossover between Transformers and Jem and the Holograms. Yeah, you heard that right. If you're an 80s kid, you're familiar with both of them. They're going to do a Transformer, Jem and the Holograms crossover. So Google that and look it up. You got to see it to believe it. It's really wild. I don't think I'll be adding it to my collection, but it's out there. It's out there. It's wild stuff. But anyway, so that was the pickup from at home this past Sunday, and I'm definitely glad I grabbed it, because when I initially looked at it, I've had a few Black Cat blow molds before where the eyes would light up, but they didn't really light up really good. This one, however, is awesome. So if you see it, the price is right. Don't sleep on it. I highly recommend it. And of course, how did I leave it out? Michaels this week had the Lemax Spooky Town boxes in store. They didn't have the display set up just yet, and from what I'm understanding, a lot of people are experiencing the same things. I don't know if Michaels just isn't setting up the display this year or what. It seems like they're kind of falling asleep on that, or maybe it's just too early. But I was lucky enough to find all of them and see them in boxes. And of course, Nightmare Video was the absolute best one, but I had to pass on it because I had bills to pay at that moment. And then I went down the eBay vintage shopping spree hole that I had been putting off for long enough, because some of that stuff had been sitting in my cart for far too long. I didn't want to sleep on that and have it disappear, because again, don't sleep on some of that 90s stuff, because the prices are going to keep going up. Grab it while it's cheap and affordable. So if Nightmares Videos is still around in, say, maybe a month or two, then maybe I may contemplate buying it, but I don't know, because I still have the Donald Duck blow mold from last year that I'm still weighing my options on that, because the cheapest one on eBay there still is $90 free shipping. That's currently sitting in my shopping cart. I just haven't gotten it yet, because as soon as you get $100, something's waiting to take $100. So right now, that's got to wait. So I don't know. I got a feeling it's going to be an expensive Halloween, guys. I really do. With Michael's doing the retro line, and with the Michael's Spooky Collection, and with Cracker Barrel, and with At Home, and all of that stuff, it's going to be hard to keep up. I've said it all week, and I'm going to keep saying it. I think Dollar Tree is going to be the unsung hero for 2026 because they're giving us all that retro stuff, and of course it's going to be $1.75 for most of it. So I'll definitely be grabbing a bag of goodies from Dollar Tree. Yeah, Jennifer, for sure. Halloween definitely does. Halloween rules. Will says, I wasn't joking when I said we were living on PB&Js. I keep side-eyeing the cat blow mold and looking at Heather going, Look, nothing wrong with peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I had one myself tonight. Best peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'll give you guys a little tip here. Here's Cooking 101 with Derek Blackheart, okay? I recommend going and buying. Vasquez, I don't know if I welcomed you in. If I didn't, I apologize. And Michael, welcome in both of you tonight. Thanks for joining in. Recommend buying the Cheesecake Factory bread. It's that brown loaf from Cheesecake Factory. They sell it at Walmart. They sell it at just about any grocery store. It's good bread. It's healthy bread. Plus, it's a bread that molds. And that's a good thing because you want bread that molds. That way you know it's not full of artificial fillers. So, highly recommend that. It's like the only bread I have found now that currently molds. I never thought I would be excited about bread that molds, but I am now. Sorry, one moment, please. I think I just saw a mouse. It's too hot for a mouse, right? I swear I just saw a mouse run by my foot. It's a living Halloween decoration, I guess. Go figure. But I definitely think I saw a mouse, or my eyes are playing tricks on me. I don't know. Anyway, go figure. If he's in here, he's going to sweat like me because it's hot. Kelly's like, what? Yeah, I think I did. But yeah, the brown bread is definitely the absolute best, and I recommend getting the organic peanut butter or the Peter Pan honey roasted peanut butter with the organic strawberry jelly from Smucker's, and dabbling a little bit of peanuts on top of your sandwich to give it a little bit of a crunch. Kirsten says I'd be screaming. Like, none of that stuff phases me. Like, a mouse doesn't faze me. I work out in the yard all the time, so I come across snakes all the time. Like, snake. Kelly says I'm delirious. No, I definitely think I saw a mouse. I'm pretty sure I saw a mouse, but it's not even mouse season. Like, I don't even see them in the summer, but I think I saw one. So probably all this stuff that I'm buying from like Goodwill and stuff, or boxes that are coming in from eBay. My luck, a mouse hitched a ride in a box, and I got an extra gift with it. So, but let's see. Crystal says mouse in the house is the time of year. Rats. It didn't look that big. Didn't look that big. Snakes. Kelly says snakes. Oh heck no. Look, I have seen so many snakes when I work outside. Like, it doesn't even faze me. James, the Spirit Fan, welcome in. Hi, Derek. I just finished my second to last week of school. Today, heard Peter Pan peanut butter was recalled back in the day. Wow. Well, I eat a lot of it now, so I hope they don't recall it now. If they do, I could be in trouble because I consume a lot of it. Probably 50% of my DNA is probably Peter Pan honey roasted peanut butter at this point. Oh, man. Laura says, I'm making strawberry jam as we speak. Strawberry jam in the summer is the absolute best. I mean, that's the thing, Sarah. Snakes are more afraid of us than we should be of them. 9 times out of 10, if you don't bother a snake, they're not going to bother you. I mean, I remember being a kid, and we had a big, big ditch bank by the apartments that we stayed in, and me and my friend Steven at the time, we would pick up water moccasins. Yes, water moccasins that are poisonous, venomous. And we would literally fling them at each other, just like throw them at one another. And it was just like, it was wild. I mean, I've got a funny story I can tell you guys right now. You know, about 15 years ago, I was at my father's house taking care of him when he was battling an illness. And my partner, she called me and she was like, I need you to come home right now. Like, right now. I'm like, what's up? She's like, there's a snake in the house. And I thought she was like fooling me, right? I'm like, there's not a snake in the house. She's like, yeah, there's a snake in the house. So she takes a picture. She sends me the picture. Sure enough, it was like a copperhead, like just curled up right in the middle of the living room floor. It's wild. Stephen Piercy. I've missed something. Stephen Piercy's from Rat. Oh, back to Rat. Got it. Got it. That was good. Anyway, the copperhead was like curled up right in the middle of the floor. So I come home, and it's still chilling right in the middle of the living room floor. So I scoop it up, put it into a trash can, and take it deep into the woods and set it free. Come to find out, the snake. Now this is going to scare you a lot if you don't like snakes, or if you're scared of snakes. The little hand says, water moccasins and copperheads. Growing up as a kid in West Virginia, you see them all the time. Exactly, they're everywhere out here in North Carolina also. So I was like, okay, it had to have an entry point somewhere. So I crawl up underneath the house, and the ventilation had a big hole in it. And of course, because it was cool, the snake crawled up into the ventilation to cool off. And then somehow it shimmied itself through the ventilation and made itself into one of the floor vents. And that's how it got right into the middle of the living room floor. So how's that for a true real life nightmare if you're terrified of snakes? Has anybody ever seen snakes on a plane? Sound off in the chat if you've ever seen snakes on a plane, because you probably know where I'm going with this one. What had you rather have? Thank you so much, Toby. Much appreciated. Oh man, Kelly, I loved Billy the Exterminator. Billy the Exterminator on A&E. Oh man, used to watch that all the time back in the day. He was out there with his brother. It was the whole family. Oh man, Billy the Exterminator, the heavy metal exterminator. He always came out there with the spiked gauntlets on and the leather vest and all of that stuff. That was a great show. That was a great one. I used to watch all of those A&E shows. My mom was a huge fan of Billy the Exterminator. She also watched, what was it, Storage Wars. She watched Parkin' Wars. She watched Swamp People. All of those A&E shows, like Gene Simmons' Family Jewels. We watched that. It was all good stuff back in the day. A&E really had some good stuff back then. Anybody ever used to watch Bret Michaels' Rock of Love back in the day? Or Flavor of Love with Flavor Flav? Anybody ever watch those like 20 years ago? 20 years ago it's been? Can you believe that? Wow. Yeah, I know, Spectre. I miss mine all the time. Mine have been going about 14 years now, as a matter of fact. Laura says, my dad was stationed in Oklahoma in the 50s. He said an old lady in a house next to the base found a snake in the couch she took naps on. Oh, man, don't get me started. Anacondas on a plane, says Sarah. Let's see, Molly says, watch all of those shows. Same. Izzy, Flavor Flav, I watched that, and Bad Girls Club. I remember Bad Girls Club. They were all great shows. They were all great shows. Anybody ever notice, though, how Bret Michaels, during that whole show, even when he was asleep, whatever he was doing, I think there was even one scene where he was in the shower with like 2 or 3 of the girls, that bandana never left that dude's head. Like, I believe that dude for sure is wearing a hairpiece and his hair is connected to that wig, because I never saw him on that show without that bandana. Never. In the shower, in the pool, in the bed, he always had that bandana. Just embrace it. Embrace it. Let's see. Some people came in. Just another emo mom. I think this is your first time into the live stream. So we do this every Friday night at 8 p.m. So thank you for joining in. If it's your first one here, glad to have you in tonight. Let's see. Mary Beth says Billy identifies as a vampire now, I think. Yeah, Will. Bret Michaels is as bald as me. Technically, I've got tattoos on my head, so I've got at least something up there, right? But I mean, at least when I realized mine was coming out from bleaching mine throughout my 20s, I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to hang on to something that just ain't here anymore. So I was like, it's time to let it go. Like they say in Frozen, let it go. So it had to go, because it was like ruining my confidence. Like, I was to the point where I never wanted to be seen without a hat or anything. Now I don't care. Like, I wear this just because it makes me look more friendly, because if you see me without it and you see all the tattoos on my head, you're like, oh man, Derek looks a little rough there. So in the early days on the channel and in the late days on the old channel, I had started not wearing the hat as much, but I think it threw people off a little bit. It made me look like not so much of a nice guy. And I'm not a jerk. It's just like looks can be deceiving, and when you see the tattooed head, it definitely comes across a little bit harder, I guess is the best way to say it. Barb says, I like bats but not flying at me. I've never really had an encounter with a bat. I don't think, Barb. I don't really think I've ever had an encounter with a bat. Michael says, Flavor Flav has a chicken wing restaurant in Pontiac, Michigan. Every time I hear Pontiac, Michigan, I just think about one thing. 7 years old and WrestleMania 3 being held at the Pontiac Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. Anytime I hear Pontiac, Michigan, I go right to 1987 and think about WrestleMania 3 with Hogan and Andre the Giant. That's like my earliest wrestling memory right there. And Ricky Steamboat and Randy Macho Man Savage. Let's see. Scott says, let's see. South of Sanity. Karen, welcome in. Let's see. Hannah, welcome in. Lots of people coming in. I apologize if I'm missing you. Kristen, welcome in. New subscriber here. Love your channel. Thank you so much, Kristen. I hope you enjoy all of the spooky content that I have. Did you guys just see that? That cat's moving. That cat literally just moved. I think that mouse moved that cat. I think that mouse is playing press your luck with a fake cat because he knows it's fake. That's so weird. That cat just like leaned in to look right into the camera. That's weird. All right. We'll call you Salem. It's generic, but it's Friday night. We'll come full circle to what we talked about last Friday night with TGIF on ABC. So naturally, my brain, Black Cat, I went to Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Oh, man. I saw Metallica in Seattle in 1984, and Cliff Burton was wearing your shirt. Oh, yeah, I've seen so many images of Cliff Burton wearing this shirt before. It's like I've got so many old magazines with Metallica in it, and Cliff's always in a Misfits t-shirt. Let's see, what's going on? Kristen and Kirsten. I got to not get the two names mixed up there. Virgil, welcome into the chat. Also, yeah, it's just exactly. It's just art. But a lot of people, you know, you click on a video and you see this heavily tattooed guy, you know, and then you see his head all tattooed and everything too. A lot of people, especially if you're like a new subscriber, you're going to instantly be like, whoa, this is a little bit too much for me. I don't know if I want to see this dude. But hopefully once you get to know me and you start watching the channel, you're like, okay, this guy, he's ridiculous. He's just a weirdo. He's a misfit, if you will. That's the best way to put it, right? He's a misfit. Guys, it is hot tonight. I hate to keep saying it, but it is hot in here. Let me fan myself with this clapper again. Remember when this is what we used to do back in the day? We used to always fan ourselves with a piece of paper. Anybody remember when you would bend the paper to actually make it look like a fan, or was that just something we did in the South? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? You would like fold a sheet of notebook paper into like 5 or 6 lines, and it would actually make a fan. Or am I the only one that's remembering that? I don't know. Let's see. Sarah says Cleveland Zoo has a huge bat enclosure. Let's see. Jennifer says we have a good Summerween up. Dullahan says don't judge a book by its cover. You're a nice guy as they come. Thanks, Dullahan. It's just first impressions are everything. That's the way it goes. Michael says I love snakes, just not poisonous ones are the big kind. The only snake I never want to come across is that kind, the big kind, and that would be an anaconda, a boa, anything like that. Something that can, you know, more or less outpower me. No, thank you. I'm good. You stay on your side of the earth, and I'll stay on my side, and we'll be just fine. We'll be just fine. Barb says you need a Halloween King tattoo. I would love another tattoo, Barb, but I'm out of real estate. Like, I literally have no space left on me anywhere. I mean, even my underarms are spider webs. I mean, look, I'm covered, guys. I mean, it's like everywhere, you know. It's like my legs, everything. It's like I have absolutely no more space left. So it's really bad too, because when you get that little itch that you want to scratch and get a tattoo, when you get to my level of ink, you're done. You're done. So it's bad. It's bad. Hannah says that's what I thought. It's the mouse. Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm missing a lot of the chat as usual, guys. I apologize. Let me try to scroll here and try to catch up on some of this. Dullahan says, I saw Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant together. Hogan bench press Andre over his head. And that's why Hogan's back got messed up in his later years, by picking up Andre the Giant. I'm sure, no doubt about that. Oh, man, I hope not, Kelly. I hope the only spirits in here is the Spirit Halloween coloring book that I recently picked up at that flea market. I hope not. Let's see. Sam says, out and about today, nothing yet at Marshall's or Home Goods. Yeah, I was at both stores yesterday myself, Sam, and I didn't have any luck either, unfortunately. I'm going by what they've told me on the phone, and I'm assuming that's going to be correct, and I'm going to stick with it. So I am assuming they're saying the end of June, early July. I'm thinking that's got to be when it's coming. I'm hoping, at least. Vasquez says, have a wonderful weekend, everyone. If you're heading out fast, thanks for joining into the chat. If you left already, I apologize, because I know I'm way up in the comments and I'm missing a lot. It's just the way it goes. Let's see. Iman Drifts, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, thank you for joining in also. All right, let me see if I can catch up on some of this, guys. I'm probably going to miss a lot, but I apologize. Derek says, Derek, you're one cool dude. Never mind, people. Oh, Derek, I gave up on thinking what people think about me a long time ago. That's why I became my own boss, because, you know, I knew that I wanted to look a certain way, and the only way you can do that is when you become your own boss. So one of the best decisions that I ever made, definitely. Can you believe at one time, though, I used to be in management? Can you guys believe that? Yeah, at one time I used to be in management. And how times change, right? Let's see. Just another emo mom says, I'm great, October Breeze. October Breeze, shout out to October Breeze. I got to give her props every week, because when I get up here and I just start having, what's the best way to put it, the diarrhea of the mouth, and it just goes on and on. October Breeze, being the great moderator she is, she catches a lot of the chats and welcomes in a lot of people that I may miss. So thank her, guys, if you will, for showing up each week to help me keep this all under control. And as for keeping stuff under control, I know there's still questions about when we're going to do that Halloween game of sending in the pictures, and it'll be a guessing game and someone will win a prize. I'm still trying to get enough entries. I'm still trying to figure out all of the ins and outs of how it's all going to work, because you all see right now how the live chat goes. We got to make sure it's done right so we can identify the legitimate winner, because it's going to be chaos. I'm sure it's going to be chaos, but I'll be figuring it out as the weeks progress. We'll probably do it a little bit later in the summer, early fall, closer it gets to Halloween maybe. We'll figure it out. It's in the works. I got my thinking cap on. This is my thinking cap. What is my thinking cap today? My thinking cap today is, it's a Vision Streetwear thinking cap. The logo fell off, so I had to glue it back on. But my thinking cap today is Vision Streetwear, by the way. So, yeah, there we go. Thinking cap is on. We're going to figure it out. This is normally the cap that I do the giveaways in. But didn't have time to figure out a giveaway this week, because we just hit 6,000 before I came live onto the live stream tonight. All right, so here I go again. I'm just getting diarrhea of the mouth. So let me scroll and try to catch back up again. All right, Kelly says, Derek, I've told so many people how awesome you are. Kelly, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. And like I say, all of you show up, watch the videos, show up to these, show up to the premieres. It means a lot, guys. Like I tell you every week, and I'll never not tell you this, without all of you, there's no spooky family, there's no spooky club. It's just one dude sitting up here looking like a loser, talking to himself on a screen. So all of you definitely keep the spooky train rolling, no pun intended there, with the spooky caboose that we saw at Michael's this week. So all of you are the reason that we're here tonight. It's not me. It's 1,000% all of you. And for that, that's why I tell you all, at the end of every live stream, at the end of every premiere. I love all of you. You're definitely my spooky family because you all make it happen. Sherry, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Much appreciated. You don't have to do that. Sherry, another one. Shout out to you. You're always there supporting, commenting, liking, hyping, and the hypes definitely help push the videos out there. So for everyone that's been hyping those, thank you so much. That is definitely much appreciated. The hypes, I know we only get 3 hypes a week, and if you decide to use one on my channel and the videos, it is definitely much appreciated for that. Hannah says, I just love Halloween. I don't judge people. I like the effort you put together in your videos. Thanks, Hannah. I always try to, I say this a lot, I try to make it not just another vlog. You know, being a retro fan, I try to make it almost like a, I don't know what, a TV show maybe? Like a 15, 20-minute TV show. That's why you get like the next episode of Derek Blackheart's Spooky Club tonight at 8 on Channel 13. I just like all of the elements from all of the old days just like mixed into one. Like even with the opening credits, edited by Derek Blackheart, produced by Derek Blackheart. I want it all just to feel like a legit show, like you're watching something special. Like, you know, I want to take pride in what I put out there for you all. I don't want to just put out garbage and expect you to watch it. Like I've said a million times, if I'm going to watch something, I want to see some effort put into something. If there's no effort put into it, then I'm not appealed to it. You know, I think a little bit of effort goes a long way, and it shows in your work. And that applies to anything in life. Take pride in what you do, is what I say. Take pride in your work ethic. All right, so let me get back to the chat here, guys, because I'm missing a lot. Dolhan says, as an adult, I worked in an arena, and I saw a wrestling show every year for 25 years. Wow. Yeah, there's a documentary on YouTube. When I get time, I've got to watch it. It's about the history of Dorton Arena in Raleigh, North Carolina, and it was a huge wrestling venue. So when I get time, I'm definitely going to go down that rabbit hole. Maybe that's what I'll watch tonight to put myself to sleep. Maybe. I always put on something on YouTube to help me fall asleep. So maybe that's what it'll be tonight. Or it'll probably be Halloween commercials. Halloween commercials is always a go-to, and that's always a safe win. Let's see. Crystal says, I've been sticking my head in the freezer so much, I'm changing my last name to Swanson. Crystal, I'm guessing you're referring to the old Swanson ice cream trucks. I used to see them riding around in North Carolina all the time. Anybody remember the Swanson ice cream trucks? Halloween Queen, welcome into the chat. I made a lot of those fans. Our schools were not air conditioned, neither were ours. And the walls were made with lead in most of the schools I went to, unfortunately. So, yeah. Izzy says, hey, can you say I only have one tattoo? Funny you mentioned that, Izzy. Funny you mentioned that, because probably at least 3 times a week if I'm in a store, someone will come up to me and say, how many tattoos do you have? And I say, 1. And they look at me weird. And they're like, there's no way you have 1 because I have 3. I'm like, yeah, you do have 3. I'm like, so technically you have more tattoos than me. They're like, how? I'm like, because I have 1. I'm like, it starts at my head connects to my neck, and then it's just like everything connects. So it's all one big body tattoo. And then so they walk off and they're like, oh wow, I've got more tattoos than him. So yeah, they got 3 tattoos. They got more than me. So yeah, Izzy, I definitely do. I do say that a lot. That's always my line. Jennifer, Luna is doing great. She had her Frosty Paws ice cream treat right before the live stream. I got her a fresh box of Frosty Paws today. She absolutely loves the peanut butter Frosty Paws ice cream treats. She is doing great. She is laying on the couch right now. Let's see. Just another emo mom says, glad to hear it. She's talking with Breeze. All right, guys. Blue Bonnet says, have you ever regretted a tattoo? Tremendously. Yes, I have, Bonnet. The biggest one being the star on my face. Got that when I was like 25 years old. Worst decision I ever made. Like if I were to remove one tattoo, it would be that one. got it as a dumb decision. I saw the singer from Godsmack, Sully Erna. He had like a similar one, and I thought, oh man, that looks so cool. And being 25, young and impressionable, you know, I took my $50 to the tattoo shop, and I was like, hey, slap me with a star right here on my face. And I've looked into getting it removed over the last few years, but it's so close to my eye when they laser it, even though they'll put goggles on me, they said that it could kind of burn the under area of my eye here. So I don't know if it's really a gamble I want to take. So I don't know. Maybe one day, but right now I just don't really want to burn anything underneath my eye with a laser. So I don't know. It's something that I may look into one day, but right now it's so old. It's almost 25 years old. I almost forget about it sometimes. But yeah, that's definitely the one that I do not like. And my head I don't regret, my neck I don't regret, none of that. But my biggest decision to anyone is think 3 times and then think 3 times more before you put anything on your face is the best tattoo advice I can give you. And that's coming from somebody that's been doing tattoos since they were 18 years old. So take that little bit of advice if you will, or throw it out the window like I would have at 25, whichever way floats your boat. All right, so let me get back into the chat. Let's see. Maria says, in Miami, it's very hot down here. Oh, I'm sure Florida's probably sweltering right now. Oh, man, I have missed so much in this chat. You guys are like way ahead of me. Oh, man, I was out at Target and at home today in Georgia, and no Summerween or spooky stuff yet. Yes, same thing here. Nothing in the dollar spot either. All right, Sarah says, Emo Mom, I can't keep up half the time. Sarah, I can't keep up half the time. I do the best I can, guys. I'm only one man. There's so many of you guys. I'd love to respond to every comment, but I can't. Let's see, Warner says, out of all your tattoos, which one is your favorite and which one hurt the most? Which one would be my favorite? That's a good question. My favorite is probably my back piece, because my back piece is nothing but horror movie characters. If you saw the old channel, I did a Halloween tattoo episode. My back is Freddy Krueger, Jason, Michael Myers, The Bride of Frankenstein. My whole back is nothing but horror movie characters. I've got the Halloween 3 masks right here on my lower. Oh, the cat just fell. One moment. But I've got the Halloween 3 masks like close to my stomach, chest area. So anything like horror movie related for sure. I do love my orange jack-o'-lantern. I love my Bystole skull cut out there. And you see a lot of this stuff, guys. This is going back to the question, do I regret anything? I had some stuff that just didn't make any sense anymore, so I did a lot of this myself, and I blacked out a lot of stuff that just didn't speak to me anymore. And I stopped because I didn't want to black out everything, because up here we've got like a haunted house with bats and a full moon, and we've got this used to be a mud flap girl, okay? But here's a funny story, okay? Every time I would go to my daughter's school, the mud flap girl wasn't always a witch. She was just a silhouette of a mud flap girl. And my daughter would always do this with her finger. She would cover it because she was like, she doesn't look like she's wearing any clothes. I'm like, it's just a silhouette. It's not supposed to have clothes, but she would cover it with her finger because she didn't want anyone to see the tattoo. So eventually I was like, you know what? If this bothers her, I'm going to have to fix it. So it started out simple enough. It started out that I had lost my mom and I lost my dad. So I was like, how can I incorporate them onto my arm? So I got 2 little, I guess, headstones here. One says mom, one says dad. And then I was just like, okay, let's just turn this whole thing into like a haunted house scene with bats. And then there's skulls, and then there's bats all up here. And then there's skulls here. And then there's spiders and spider webs here. And there's skulls there. And it's like 90% spooky stuff all over the place. See how these live screams go, everybody? I think this is the first live scream where we've dived into discussing all of the drawings on my body. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff. And then on the inner arm here, this is, I'm sure 90% of people won't even know what this is if they see it. But if you watched Thundercats in the 80s, Mum Ra had this really creepy dog that was his pet. And I always enjoyed Mum Ra's dog, so I ended up getting the tattoo of Mum Ra's dog on the inside of my bicep there. So, yeah, there we go. Again, maybe one day there'll be a video showing off all the spooky tattoos. All right, guys, I got to catch up with the chat here. I am so far behind, and we're getting close to an hour in this, and I've missed so many of your chats. Will, are you talking about your tattoos? I think you said you had one of those. Oh, man. All right, let's see. What have I got going on here? Halloween Queen says, The Art of Derek, the new channel, could probably make 50 videos just of each individual tattoo, honestly. Halloween Queen, probably like 50 videos just on that alone. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there'll be a returning one eventually. Maybe there'll be a Halloween tattoos video part 2. Dullahan, how many subscribers did Derek have on the old channel? At the very end of the Black Hearts Club, Dullahan, we had 20,000 subscribers. We were getting close to 21,000 subscribers this past February. So now we are moving towards 7,000 subscribers on Derek Blackheart's Spooky Club, and that's happened in 3.5 months. It took Blackheart's Club 3 years to get to 20,000 subscribers. So if we continue on this journey, then I definitely think this channel is going to be at 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So we're definitely back on track, and I believe 90% of the spooky family from the Black Arts Club is back. There's about 2 or 3 names that I don't see anymore that used to be regulars on the old channel. I don't know if they just haven't found it in their algorithm yet. I don't know if maybe they lost interest and didn't want to come to the new channel, or maybe they just don't use YouTube anymore. There's a number of reasons why you don't find people anymore, but for the people that did find the new channel, definitely glad that you rejoined me on this new journey, and I hope you're enjoying the new journey here because it's really fun over here. It feels a whole lot different. It's a whole different vibe, and it feels like a community, you know. And anytime I see you all say that this community gives you something to look forward to, then that tells me I'm doing something right. Because if you make it part of your night, part of your day, it puts a smile on your face, or it makes your day or your night just a little bit better, then by all means, that makes me happy. Because if something that I'm doing to, I guess, enjoy Halloween, relieve some of my stress from everyday life as a hobby, if that gives you enjoyment, then it's just a win-win. And that's the way I see it. So I love it. You know, everything in life happens for a reason. And when the old channel ended, I thought that, oh man, it was fun while it lasted, but now it's 20 times even more fun. So I'm all for it. Chad, welcome into the chat tonight also. Thank you for being here on a Friday night. Yeah, every Friday night, Will, for sure. We're always live on Friday nights. Every Friday night. Autumn Harvest, welcome in. Didn't even see you come in. I'm missing so many people coming in. JD says, glad I found this channel. Super fun. Ever think of doing a collab with Jade the Libra? I don't think I'm on Jade the Libra's radar just yet, JD. I think she's like way at the top of the Halloween food chain. I'm still down working the drive-through window at the Halloween food chain, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I don't think Jade the Libra really knows much about Derek Blackheart at this moment. But yeah, maybe one day, right? Maybe one day, but I won't hold my breath. Let's see. Disney says, hey, I'm new. What was your old channel about? I really enjoy this channel and the retro vibe that you bring. Les Pan Disney said that. Old channel was basically the same. It was called the Black Arts Club. We did all things Halloween, spooky, retro. What is the best way to sum up the old channel? I mean, I guess the old channel is basically like this channel. I don't know. A lot of you watched me on the old channel, No, K. Chris. You haven't missed a lot. Just the first hour. No, I gotta mess with you, K. Chris. You've only missed the first hour, that's all. You missed a mouse run by me. You missed the mouse knock over one of my blow molds. You missed a lot of stuff. But other than that, no. Okay, Chris, you haven't missed absolutely anything. I don't know, guys. Spectre says, I watch the old channel. A lot of you watch the old channel. Is this channel similar to the old channel? Is it basically the same thing? I mean, I feel like it's kind of the same thing. I feel like there's not much difference in it. Missed the snake story. Well, I got one more snake story that I'll tell before I get off here tonight. We got about 15 more minutes left in this before we start wrapping it up. That's kind of what I thought, Spectre. I thought it was kind of similar. Yeah, exactly, Sarah. We had clapper conversation. We had snake conversations. We had mice, Halloween. We've had tattoos. We've had like 6 different conversations going through here tonight. It's been all over the place like it always is. Oh man, yeah. All right, so let's see. Dolahan says you're spreading the good Halloween vibes over here. Let's see. Amy and Tony says this channel is better. Thank you so much, Amy and Tony. Devin, welcome into the chat. Where your black cat, the one you just brought? Let's see. The black cat is right here, Devin, right here. And I believe a mouse knocked it over earlier. So we'll do show and tell again for everyone that missed like the first 30 minutes of chaos on the live stream tonight. But there it goes right there. The orange eyes all lit up. Really cool. $35 for that at home. So if you see it, I highly recommend picking it up. And it just fell over again because it's just sitting on top of a trash can right now. Oh, man. Let's see. What am I missing now? Hannah says, don't forget the peanut butter and jelly. Yeah, we talked about peanut butter and jelly. We talked about the heat wave. Okay, so we've had like 10 different topics tonight in the live stream. It's been all over the place. Oh, man. Yeah, thanks, David. Let's see, JD says, hey, maybe next live ask about preps, favorite Halloween decoration. Exactly. Makeup Junkie says, better late than never, Autumn. Jennifer says, Halloween is my happy time. Mine too. Let's see. Spectacular. Mom, thanks for joining into the chat tonight. Hey, Chris, I do like the 2 haunted house blow molds. They look good. Yeah, I really don't know. Like, my chair used to sit further back in the studio, right? And now, the haunted houses have pushed me up closer, which is good because getting close to 50 years old, I need to sit close to this phone so I can see the chat. Eventually, guys, I'm going to have to upgrade to an iPad because an iPad has a bigger screen and my eyes can see it all better. So eventually, I doubt I'll start editing on a laptop, but I will eventually probably start editing on an iPad. That way I can just film everything on my phone and drop it through the cloud right straight to my iPad. I think that's definitely going to have to be an investment down the road as the channel progresses and gets a little bit bigger. Michael says, I have to go. My favorite movie's coming on, watching Devil's Express. All right, Michael, I hope you have a great weekend, and thanks for joining into the live stream tonight. Yeah, Autumn, the eyes they light up, and it's really, really cool. Oh, you got the previous model. That's cool. Apron says, need to head out, see everyone around the virtual block. All right, Apron, excuse me. Have a good night. Hope you have a good weekend. Spectacular Channel says, Spectacular Mom, thank you so much, brother. Much appreciated. Chad says, love that blow mold. This is much better channel now, Derek. You're awesome. Thank you so much, Chad. It means a lot to me. I definitely am trying to make it as fun as possible over here. All right, so what's going on? I think, guys, we are getting ready to start wrapping this up in about 5 minutes. So as for videos coming out next week, like I say every week, like they say in the wrestling world, cards subject to change. I do know that next week there's going to be a video where I do my latest pickups and I'll show the blow mold more in depthly. I've got some of those Jimmy Gimme Halloween animatronics off of eBay I'll be diving into in the haul video. We're going to have all of the updates for all of the Code Orange drops that I'm sure next week they're going to keep coming probably hard and fast like they've been doing for the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's going to be a live stream next Friday night. I've still got the Kmart parody video, remember we were going to do a Kmart Code Orange 2026. That was the poll last week between that and top 10 Halloween commercials. So there's still the Kmart Code Orange 2026 parody. There's still the spooky Halloween inspired video games. There's so many more videos, guys. I've got an Ace Hardware Code Orange coming up. I've got so many videos. And then to top it all off, we've only been in, what, 2 or 3 stores this year. Stores haven't even broken through yet. Keep that in mind. Everything that we've been covering so far has just been online drops or weird creative videos that I've been posting here on the channel. We haven't even fully gotten into Halloween yet. So like I say every week, buckle up because the best is yet to come. We haven't even gotten to the meat and potatoes, as they say, just yet. Crystal, thanks for joining in tonight. Let's see. Gemini Groomer, thank you, Breeze. Autumn Harvest says, I picked up the Marble Ghost cutting board from Cracker Barrel today and the Icon glasses from At Home. That's awesome pickups, Autumn, for sure. Sherry says, your channel and chat with Spooky Family is a happy place for me. Thank you so much, Sherry. I'm glad. I'm glad, like I say, if it's a happy place for someone and this is your little corner of the internet to come and escape and be happy, then by all means, thank you. I'm doing something right. It means a lot to me. Derek, thanks for joining in. Hope you have a good night tonight also. Let's see, Disney says, Natasha Now gave you a shout out on her channel today. Really? I know Natasha. She used to follow me on the old channel, and I've seen her content. I'll have to go over there and check that out. Thanks for letting me know. I think Jade will come across your channel one day. I think your channel brings something unique. Thanks so much. Had no idea that Natasha gave me a shout out, so I'll have to go over there and thank her for that. Much appreciated from her. David says, the video quality of the show is much better tonight. It's always hit or miss, David. It's like depending on, I don't know, most of the time it does pretty good. There was a few times in the early days of this channel, oh man. Now here's when you know who's got your back. Raise your hand if you were here for like the second live stream on this channel where it looked like I was on a 2006 Logitech webcam. Who remembers that live stream? Like I just looked like a complete 8-bit pixelated mess. Like anybody remember that live stream? And it's still up on the channel. Like yeah, exactly, David, exactly. Like I renamed the title on that and I called it the Retro Edition. See, Crystal was here for that. Breeze was here for that. Oh man, see that's the OGs there. They were there when my Wi-Fi was complete and utter garbage. Barb says, here from every live stream on Fridays. Thank you so much, Barb. In the beginning, I was toying around with either Friday nights or Saturday nights, and we found the happy spot here on Friday nights. So it looks like Friday nights is going to always be the home for live streams, and that's a definite. Mary Beth, good night. I hope you have a great weekend. Let's see. Alex says, I had a rough work week. My haunted house surprised me with a Cracker Barrel. That's awesome. That haunted house will definitely put a smile on your face. Autumn says, Derek, I remember your bad internet and the people that were trolling and have some... Yeah, exactly. You know, I like I say, I've been down this YouTube street for like 3 or 4 years, you know. At this point, to me, it's like not much I haven't experienced. Bad uploads, bad Wi-Fi, bad live stream, trolls, an old channel being deleted. I've been down the road, guys. I've been down it. It's like, it's to the point now where it almost feels so comfortable and relaxed. It's like, I feel like I could just honestly, not that I ever would, I could just lay in bed and fall asleep and have my phone up and be like, all right, guys, I'm going to sleep. Hope everybody has a good night. And then the live just ultimately ends. That's how comfortable I feel with it all now. I've been doing it so long, guys. But anyway, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Alex, I'm definitely sorry you had a rough week, too. That always is a bummer, for sure. But hopefully next week will always be better. The old saying, there's always tomorrow, right? Yeah, Autumn. The old channel really did. The old channel, Autumn, and I think it came from the fact that there wasn't a lot of live screams on the old channel. They were always hit or miss. It was like I'd pop up and do one whenever, and it wasn't consistent. Like, this channel has a schedule, like, and the community post, can't express that enough. The community post always keeps everybody up to date on if there is a schedule change. Back then, it was just like, okay, I'm going live. Here we go. How's anybody going to know you're going live if you don't promote it? Like, you've got to have some kind of organization, some kind of a schedule to let people know what's going on. October Breeze says, hi, Alex, and thanks for joining with us, and hopefully it will make your night better. I definitely do, Alex. I hope that this live stream kind of brings a smile to your face. But Kitty Cat, welcome into the chat. Also, yeah, the old channel wasn't this way at all, okay, Chris. But the thing about it is here, it's, you know, it's Derek Blackheart's Spooky Club, so I go to you guys for opinions, and at the end of the day, I'll decide which video goes up when the live stream airs and whatever, so it makes it a whole lot less stressful and a whole lot easier, if that makes any sense. Let's see. Kelly says, you were so organized, good for my old soul. Trust me, Kelly, the older I get, I definitely love organization and punctuality and stuff on a schedule and stuff like that. It just makes everything go way easier. Let's see. Alex says, yes, thanks, everyone. I love Halloween talk and finding vintage decor. Stay tuned next week, Alex, because there's going to be a video dedicated to vintage pickups that I recently did. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I'm glad you finally found us over here also. Yeah, Hannah, I do decorate outside for Halloween. I did a video on the old channel last year of that, and I'll do it again this year. I don't go heavy into animatronics because that's not my scene. All right, so last story for the night. Before we get ready to wrap this up, we'll go back to one more snake story in North Carolina. My dad used to date a lady that lived way out in the country, and her parents' house was an old farmhouse. So he said that one night when he went to stay there with her and her parents, they put him in the upstairs bedroom. No, Scott, I have not heard of pumpkin rot. Sorry, I haven't. I thought I responded to that earlier, Scott. Apologize if I didn't get to it. Kirsten Marie, thanks for joining in. Hope you have a great weekend. So he was laying in the upstairs bedroom in a hot farmhouse, and he said he couldn't sleep. Why couldn't he sleep? Because all he could hear in the attic was rattlesnakes just rattling above his head. Now keep in mind, he was in the upstairs bedroom in an old farmhouse in the South. The boards are basically dry rotted at this point, if you will. So the only thing separating his face and his body as he's laying there in bed is a bunch of old dry, rotten boards for a ceiling that's holding the rattlesnakes from dropping down onto him. How would you like to sleep there just hearing rattlesnakes just rattling right above your head? Has anybody ever heard a rattlesnake? It's really it's a menacing sound. If you hear it, it'll mess with your mind. And he said it sounded like an entire family of rattlesnakes up in the attic. Just he said he was just sitting there, like laying there, like with one eye open, like, huh, what? I don't even know how the man fell asleep. Like, I don't even know. He had to be brave to do that. Like, I couldn't have slept knowing they were just like right above my head, and at any moment they could fall down on me. I mean, snakes don't scare me, but in my sleep, when I can't defend myself and I don't know what's going on and I'm at my most vulnerable state, no, I can't go down like that. I can't do it. Laura says I'm gonna have to lay down wondering what's in my attic. I'm glad I could provide you with your nightmare fuel for the night, Laura. I apologize. But I'll give you one more funny story about my dad in his later years, okay? Because next month will be 13 years since he passed away, and this was one of his last funny stories he ever told me. He had to drop his father-in-law off at the VA up in Raleigh, which is about an hour drive from us. And at the time, his stepson had just had a baby. So he had some of the baby's toys in the back of the car. And this was like 2012. At the time, it was like a little teddy bear. It was like a VTech teddy bear. You would touch it and it would start talking or something. Like a modern day Teddy Ruxpin, I guess. He was just driving on the freeway at like 9 o'clock at night. He didn't listen to the radio or anything. So it was just a quiet interstate drive with him. He went over a pothole and it bounced that bear in the back seat. Now this sounds like horror movie fuel right here. Here's what makes the story spooky. He's just driving, right? And he hits the pothole in the road, and this damn bear falls into the floorboard down there. It hits the belly where the bear talks, and the bear starts talking. And my dad said he almost swerves off the road because he thinks somebody's hid out in the back seat of the car at the VA, and they're talking to him, and he's just like freaking the heck out on the freeway. I mean, it's when he told the story, he told it way better than I did, but I'm just imagining him on the freeway and this bear just starts talking to him and he's just like, what? Who's in this car? It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, that was a wild story. Oh man. Urban Legend Teddy version. Yeah, exactly. K. Chris says, I heard a chirping cat toy that did the same thing. Oh wow. Okay, Chris. Can you imagine if it started talking, though? And you're just like, you don't know that this toy even talks because he didn't pay attention to the toys. He thinks somebody hid out at the VA office and they're in the back. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, it scared him. It scared him bad. But he was scared by a teddy bear. All right, guys. So that's my stories for the night. I hope you enjoyed all of the topics we talked about on this hot summer night in North Carolina, and it's a hot one. And now I got to go outside and walk Luna in the heat, and then I'm going to lay down and try to get some rest. So on that note, guys, I thank you all for joining in to the chat tonight. You could have watched a million more things on your Friday night, but you chose to tune in and hear me tell ridiculous stories. Thanks, Sanity. All right, guys, so the next premiere will be Sunday night. Thank you so much, Alex. Much appreciated. Thank you so much for that. Next premiere will be Sunday night. I don't know which one it'll be yet. It'll be either the Kmart. All right, we'll do it real quick. You guys want Kmart parody for if Kmart was still around in 2026. We'll do a fake Code Orange Kmart parody. Or do you guys want a Halloween update video from places like Ace Hardware and a few other stores that I've got? Which one do you guys want, or do you guys want spooky video games? We'll do the live poll right here in real time. Kmart, 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 Kmart. Kmart wins. Yeah, I think Kmart won, Amy and Tony. Kmart wins, hands down. It's a sweep. Kmart wins. We get the Orange Light Special Sunday night at 8 o'clock. So if you've never tuned into a premiere, I highly recommend tuning in to the premiere because the premieres are always fun. We have like a big AOL chat room going on, and it's always fun. So thank you guys. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will see you all Sunday night at 8 o'clock, I hope. Love you all, spooky family. Stay cool if you're in the heat wave, and until next time,